Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. She Got Options. Today's video we are going to be talking about SPY. If you follow my Instagram account, I had mentioned that this upcoming week was going to be a lot of content surrounding SPY. I was going to start sharing my watch list, like what it is that I'm looking for when it comes to SPY before taking a position. I was going to do this YouTube video to show you exactly how I chart SPY, the indicators that I use, and how I chart the levels on SPY so that I know exactly what I'm looking for, before taking a trade, and kind of give you guys an idea of what it is that I'm looking at on these charts. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get into it. As usual, I am using the Thinkorswim charting platform by TD Ameritrade. So if you don't have a TD Ameritrade account, I suggest you go ahead and set one up so that way you could kind of follow along and you're on the same page as me. So yeah. So first I am going to, as you can see, this is a plain chart, and I will mention that I have another account where my chart is already personalized and it's set up. I'm going to be switching over to that account a little later in the video, but for the sake of beginners, I'm going to start with this bear chart and just kind of go from there. So yeah, this is how the chart comes default. It's plain, it's naked, nothing on there. First, I will show you how you can change the appearance of your chart to your liking. This is like a cosmetic preference. So you just kind of go to the style, you go to settings, and then this tab up here that says appearance. Now, like I said, this part is all personal. You can just play with it and however you want your chart to look. For me, I like my candles filled in. I mean, you can even change the color, like if you wanted a deeper green or something, whatever. For these volume bars, I like them to be the same color as the candlesticks. Green representing bullish, red representing bearish. My background, I like it to be a solid black. And these little grid lines, I take those off because, yeah, I just prefer them not to be on there. Okay, something simple. Like I said, play with it. Get it to your liking. Then you just hit apply and okay. So here we have our chart, okay? Now we're gonna talk about the indicators that I use. Now, indicators are quantitative tools that are used by traders to interpret financial data in order to forecast stock market movements. So basically, it's things that you could put on your chart that kind of give you an idea of what the stock is going to do next, okay? Now, when you're setting up your indicators, you want to go to this flask here, okay? And then you want to click on the study tabs, and these are where all your indicators are. Now for me, I just use the simple moving average, the SMA for short, the MACD, the RSI, the Vwap, and the volume average. So those are just my personal favorites. There's so many indicators. So yeah, we'll start with the simple moving averages. That is basically an arithmetic moving average calculated by adding recent prices and then dividing that figure by the number of time periods in the calculation average. So basically with the SMAs, you're just taking the price of a stock for a certain amount of days. Okay, you take that average and divide it by the days, and then that's how you come up with that number. Now, I like to use, so first of all, let's go on, type in simple, and then here's the simple moving average. You click on that. Now, I like to use the 9-day, the 20-day, the 50-day, the 100, and the 200. So I'm going to add it 5 times, okay? Now, to go in and personalize it, because if you don't, you're just going to, it's all going to stay at default of the 9. Now, you go here. We're going to keep that at 9. We're going to change the color to white. You can even play with the width or whatever. I just like to keep it simple. That one's going to be white. Okay, this one, we are going to change it to the 20-day. We'll keep that one blue. We'll go to this one, change this to the 50, and I'll give that the light purple. Then this one is going to be your 100. We'll change this to And we'll do like the dark red. And then this last one is going to be the 200. And we're going to make this one, no, we'll just do dark blue. So you want to hit OK, and then you want to apply. Okay, so now you see you have all your moving averages. Okay, now you can see the 9-day moving average, the price is 389.97. Or excuse me, the blue is the 20-day. The 9-day is 398. You have the 200 moving average at 433, right? So another thing about the moving averages, they can act as support and resistance as well. So as you can see on Friday, SPY kind of got up to about this area here. I can't see the price on the, what is it for? Let's see. Okay, well that's the price, 411.21 for the 100 day. So now as you can see, it kind of got there, and it didn't really, it pushed past it a little bit, but it did kind of wick too. So this is kind of like resistance. So we're gonna see next week, like if it's gonna push all the way past this, or if it's gonna reject back down. We want to see if there's gonna get a candle to close over that on the daily, right? So another thing, these moving averages can act as like there's something called a golden cross and a death cross. So when you have a smaller moving average crossing over a higher one, so like right here we have the 9-day crossing over the 20 golden cross, that would be considered it's moving to an uptrend. It was coming down, and then once it crossed, that can be like an indication like, oh, okay, it's about to go up, 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 which it did. And then same for if it's going to reverse to the downside. Once it crosses under, then you can expect it to kind of go down. So those are good for trend reversals. Right, and so the next one that I'm going to use is the MACD. That is the moving average convergence divergence. That is a trend following momentum that shows the relationship between two moving averages of a stock's price. Okay, so again, we'll go to our flash, we'll go to our studies and type in MACD, and then just put that on there, add selected. You're going to apply and hit OK. So this is where our MACD is down here. Now, again, these are good for trend reversals. I like to look at it like once these start crossing, then I'm thinking, hey, it might be going up, like as it crossed right here, and then we got the uptrend, and then it crossed and came back down. So as you can see, it's following the price. So those are good indicators. The next one that I like is the RSI, which is Relative Strength Index. The RSI is a momentum oscillator that measures the speed and change of price movement. Okay, so it's just letting you know like the momentum of how the price is changing. So we'll go to studies, hit RSI, you hit that, add selected. Now I do like to edit my RSI. So we'll go here, and so it shows when a stock is overbought and oversold. So I like to change anything like considering like buy, I like to correlate it with green, and then sold, I like to correlate it with red. So you hit that and hit apply. So down here we have our RSI. Now up here it's indicating that the stock is it's overbought. So a rule of thumb is, and you can see the numbers are kind of on the side. If you see if it's up here, was at about 76. So rule of thumb, anything over 70 will be considered overbought. Anything under 30 will be considered oversold. So once a stock becomes overbought, you can kind of expect for it's going to have to retrace, and it's going to have a pullback, like kind of like it's going to have to cool off a little bit. Like it's people was buying it up, the stock is going up, and then eventually it's going to have a cool down period, right? And then the same for when people are selling and selling and selling and it becomes oversold, people are going to start getting back in, like, okay, like the price is kind of at a good low point, like we'll get back in. So that's what the RSI is, okay? And another one that I like to use is the VWAP. That is volume weighted average price. That's a technical analysis indicator used on intraday charts. Now this is, let's go ahead and find it first. And we'll change this to yellow. And I kind of like to make this a little thicker than the others. So, oh, there's another thing on the VWAP. I like to take the upper band and the lower band off. So I just have that VWAP. Okay, so as you can see, now VWAP is only to be used on like the intraday charting. So you need to use it like on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 50, anything like within a day. And once you start going over like a day, then it's not effective on those, okay? So for me, like I know that when the price is over the VWAP line, it's bullish. Once it starts dropping below that VWAP line is like an indication of being bearish. Okay, so that's what I use that for. Now, the last one that I like to use is the volume average. This is one of my favorites because it's like really confirmation for me on mine. And basically, the volume average, it just calculates a fast and slow moving average of volume. So, volume average right here. So we'll add selected, put apply, and okay. So as you can see, this is the average, the volume average down here. Now, you'll hear me mention, like if I'm calling plays like, oh, I'm gonna take this play if you know, if SPY reaches over 412 with volume. So when I say with volume, I like to see these bars over the average line. Like, see, this is good volume up here. Anything over these lines is good volume. Now, anything under is just like kind of a normal day. Nothing's really happening, but you want those bars to be over before you're entering a position because it's meaning that people are buying into it or selling. So that way your contracts are going to actually move because it has some action in there. Okay. So yeah, those are the indicators that I use. I'll go ahead and move on to how I chart the levels on SPY. Now, when I say levels, I'm basically charting prices on my chart as to prices where SPY was at a support or a resistance, right? So I like to start on the daily and chart them. So like for instance, I'm not going to chart, I'm just going to do a few and then I'm going to switch over to my account because I have all my levels on there. And what I'll also do is I will have all the levels typed out in the description of this video as well. So when you're charting levels, you want to go to this drawing tool and you want to go to this price level, okay? So we'll just start with the low. Like this would be a level that you would chart because within, what are we on the daily? So this, within a year, this is the lowest that SPY has got. So that would be a level for sure. So we'll chart out the 362.17. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys how to This isn't how it works default. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna remove this. Wait, I'm gonna put it back and then I'm gonna go here, edit. I'm gonna go to, okay. Okay, so now if I were to just draw it like just default, 362, doesn't have to be exact, but if you can get it exact, that's fine. Now, as you can see, at first it doesn't have the price, or it's not a white line. This is the default. It just comes red. So how you change that is you right click that line and you go to edit properties. You want it to show the price on the right side. And me, I like my lines to be white. You could put it whatever color you want. Okay, and then set that as default so you don't have to keep coming in and changing this. So save. So now you can see it's white and it has the price. So that way, so let's see, let's find another level like this right here. It looks like it was a support. Now, when you're looking for levels, support and resistance, it means the stock touched this area twice. So as you can see, it tapped here 1, 2, 3, a couple times. So that's definitely a support at 371. So I just like to drag it out to this first line. You could put 371.16, like that would be a level. We can also go, like, we can also, you see right here, this would be a resistance. It tapped this area 2 times, so we would chart that out. So what is that, about 380.46? Okay, so like I said, I'm not gonna draw all of them. I'm gonna switch to my other account now, and I'll show you guys the levels that I have on that one. Okay, so here we are on my other account. As you can see, I have all my indicators. I have all my levels here. And yeah, you can see I have all those. Let me pull it up. Okay, so let's see. I like to trade on like the 3 minute and the 5 minute. So when you're charting your levels, this is how people use levels. Let's take this 400 for SPY because I know this was a big resistance at one point. So as you can see, it broke above, but it kind of faked out and then it rejected back down under the 400. It kind of consolidated and then it tried again and it was rejected, okay, and went back down. And then the third time it tried again and it actually broke above this 400 resistance level with volume, and it went up to the next level was 403. As you can see, it broke through there, and then it did come back down and test it. It tested that level a couple times, and then it kept going to the next level, which was 403. Well, that was just a couple more cents, but it broke through and kind of rejected, faked out, retested, and then came back down to the 403 support. Okay, kind of consolidated, and then it decided to break that 403 level, right? And then what? It goes up to our next level, 405. Broke through, right? And then it hit, I would actually need to draw a level right here, 406, because that's kind of resistance. Once it came through that, it came here, rejected here, it came back down and tested that support, right? It came back and rejected again, right? Around 406. So I'm actually going to draw, um, so see, I just drew another level there, right? So now here we have it. I'm breaking through this one again, testing, right? then it goes to 407, and then it breaks. So yeah, so when I say things like, oh, I want to enter a play with SPY, if it breaks through the 403 level with volume, okay, broke through, get in a position. So that is how the levels work. I'm actually, let's see, I don't have anything in this one after 407. So in the price, we're at 411. So I kind of need to, what is this? We have 417. That will be a level. I can draw that here because that's resistance. So right now, like come Monday, I will be looking. I'm going to see how SPY opens on Monday at this level, this 411. If it's going to come back to this 417 and reject, we're going to see how that works. This would be a level 2 up here, 429. So we do have some rejection going on there. So yeah, we can chart way up here, but I'm not going to do those yet until the price actually gets there. I'm charting my levels as I go, like as the prices get there, because I'm a fairly new trader, so I'm trying to see how they react at these levels. But these are the closest ones coming up, so I'll chart them so it'll let me know to kind of keep an eye on those levels. So yeah, those are basically, that's all that I wanted to show. And you know, your indicators, they'll be good on any other stock. If you click on the chart, you'll still have like your indicators. The levels are all drawn out to the stock. Those don't show up automatically, so you got to kind of know your levels. Like, you know, some I have levels and some I don't. So I really have levels just on the stocks that I trade, and that is Tesla, Apple, and SPY. So again, like I said, I will have all the levels typed out in the description box. Go ahead and play with your charts. Take your time and chart them. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me via Instagram, YouTube. I have an email up there. And I hope that this was helpful. And check us out next week on our Instagram page. See you next